Welcome to the n8n Infinity User Guide. This guide is designed to help you get familiar with the different features of the application and make the most of your n8n Infinity experience. n8n Infinity is a mobile and desktop application that allows you to manage and monitor your n8n workflows directly from your device. The app provides a user-friendly interface to view the status of your workflows, trigger executions, receive real-time notifications, display customizable widgets, and much more. The application is available on iOS, watchOS, and macOS. Security note: your login credentials, server settings, and executions are stored exclusively on your device. Our API is only used to store metadata associated with your workflows, namely colors and icons, and to send you notifications. The first thing to do is to log into the app. You need to sign in so we can save the metadata associated with your workflows, such as colors or icons, and also to send you notifications when your workflows run. You can choose from different login methods: email, Google, Apple, or GitHub. GitHub authentication is not available on macOS for now. Once you're logged in, you need to add your first server. The app supports self-hosted n8n instances as well as official n8n cloud accounts. However, using an official n8n cloud account is recommended as it offers the most features. Start by entering a name for your server, the server URL, and your API key. You can find your API key in the settings of your n8n instance. Make sure to set a sufficient validity period for your key. The app also supports the unofficial API, which lets you connect on behalf of a user using their credentials to provide additional features that are not yet available in the official API. Note that your server settings and credentials are stored exclusively on your device. Our API is only used to store metadata and send you notifications. To use the unofficial API, enter the login and password of your n8n account on the server. The app also supports two-factor authentication. To enable it, provide the secret code used to generate OTPs. This code is usually available in your password manager and consists of a string of uppercase characters and digits. You can also add custom HTTP headers for the connection or configure additional basic authentication if required to reach your n8n server. Once this is done, your server is ready and your workflows are ready to sync. You can configure multiple servers within the app. Once your server is configured, you can access your list of workflows through the second tab with the label Workflows. This tab displays all the workflows available on the servers you have configured. Each workflow is represented by a card showing its name, its associated tags, and a set of icons indicating whether the workflow is a favorite, whether it is active or inactive, and whether notifications are enabled for it. The card also displays the status and the date of its last execution. You can search for a specific workflow using the search bar at the top of the screen, and you can filter the displayed workflows based on various criteria such as server, tags, status, active, inactive, or favorites. The filter icon animates whenever filters are active. From this list, you can also import a workflow from a JSON file. Click a workflow card to open its detail screen. This screen shows a workflow with its main attributes and its list of executions. The star icon allows you to add or remove the workflow from your favorites. To edit your workflow, click the Edit button represented by a pencil icon. The Workflow Editing panel then opens, allowing you to modify various settings. You can update the workflow's name, mark it as a favorite, assign one or two colors, and set a custom icon. These options let you customize how the workflow appears in the workflow list, widgets, and notifications. You can then manage the associated tags, followed by the list of n8n configurations linked to this workflow. Refer to the n8n documentation for more details about these parameters. Once your changes are done, click the Save button in the top right corner to apply them. From this screen, through the menu represented by 3 horizontal dots in the top right corner, you can also access various actions such as activating or deactivating the workflow, exporting it to JSO, and deleting it. The workflow screen also displays the list of trigger nodes associated with the workflow. Only the basic n8n triggers are supported, namely webhooks, form triggers, cron triggers, and manual triggers if the unofficial API is configured. To run your workflow, tap the type of trigger you want to use, then select the associated trigger node. Your workflow will then start. If you are a premium user, the app allows you to receive notifications when your workflows execute. You can configure workflow notifications from the Notification Management screen, accessible by clicking the bell icon in the top right menu of the Workflow Management screen. From this screen, you can enable or disable notifications for this workflow using the switch at the top. There are 3 types of notifications available: execution start notifications, successful execution completion notifications, and failed execution completion notifications. For each notification type, you can enable or disable it using the corresponding switch. You can also customize the notification sound. For error notifications, a special error workflow is automatically created on your server. This workflow is then configured as the error workflow in the settings associated with your workflow. When your workflow encounters an error, the error workflow is triggered. This error workflow contains an HTTP node that sends a request to our API, which is responsible for notifying you of the error. You can manually associate this error workflow with your workflows if needed or in case it is accidentally deleted. For start and completion notifications, HTTP nodes are automatically added to your workflow. These nodes are then linked to the triggers and termination nodes of your workflow. These special nodes simply send a request to our API, which then notifies you of the start or completion of your workflow's execution. The system attempts to automatically determine the most appropriate trigger and termination nodes to link the notification nodes to. If the automatic behavior is incorrect, you can manually assign the nodes that should trigger notifications. You can also modify these associations with the notification nodes directly from your workflow's n8n interface. The Executions tab gives you access to the list of executions from your n8n servers. Executions are indexed locally and automatically synchronized from your servers. Each execution is displayed as a card showing the workflow name, its execution status, the execution date, its duration, and the trigger that started it. This list also shows executions that are currently running. You can filter the displayed executions based on various criteria, such as workflows, status, time period, or duration. You can also filter executions that contain associated data. You can search for executions using the search bar at the top of the screen. For premium users, the search is full text and also includes execution data. Finally, you can view statistics for the filtered executions by clicking the chart-shaped icon in the top right corner of the screen. Click an execution to open its detail view. The Execution Details page displays key information such as the workflow name, status, execution date, duration, and the trigger that initiated it. The page also shows the list of nodes executed during this run, including each node's status, type, and execution duration. Clicking on a node opens the Execution Explorer. Inside the Explorer, you can view the various steps of that node's execution, as well as the input and output data for each step. For failed executions, you can also view error messages, the stack trace, and restart the execution using the Retry Execution button at the top right. For executions currently in progress, if the unofficial API is configured, you can also cancel the execution using the Cancel Execution button at the top right. The Data Tables tab allows you to access the data stored in the tables of your n8 instance. Data tables are only available if the unofficial API is configured for your n8n server. You can search for a table using the search bar at the top of the screen, or filter the displayed tables. Clicking on a table lets you view its contents. The star-shaped icon allows you to mark the table as a favorite, or remove it from favorites. From the Table Detail screen, you can edit its metadata, such as name, colors, and icon, and select which columns will be used as the title and subtitle when displaying records in the list. Save your changes by clicking the Save button at the top right. You can navigate through the table records or reorder results. The list also allows you to add, delete, or edit records. The Actions menu at the top of the list lets you add a record or delete multiple records at once. To delete records, select them and click Delete Rows. When finished, click Done to return to the list. Clicking on a record opens its detail screen where you can view its data. Click on the column you want to modify, then click Save to apply the changes. The Database tab allows you to access the Node and Credential database. This helps you plan your upcoming workflows by exploring the available options. This screen lets you filter or search nodes and credentials using the search bar at the top. Click on a node or credential to access its detail screen and the links to the official n8n documentation. You can update the database from the app settings via the Nodes and Credentials database button. In the Settings tab, you can manage several parameters of your n8n servers, such as variables, projects, users, and tags. Select the section you want to manage from the menu at the top of the screen. Note that some features, such as projects and variables, are only available for official n8n Cloud servers. In the Tag Editor, you can assign colors and custom icons that will be displayed throughout the app. The n8n Infinity app is also available on Apple Watch. The app allows you to view your workflows, trigger executions, and receive notifications when your workflows execute. The Apple Watch app normally syncs automatically with the iOS app installed on your iPhone. However, you can check the sync status via the Apple Watch button in the Settings screen. From this screen, you can verify the sync status and force a resync if needed. Once synchronized, the Apple Watch app should operate independently, even when your iPhone is not nearby. In the Settings tab, you can manage several administration features. The Logs viewer lets you view the app logs to help diagnose potential issues. You can also download these logs or share them with our support team if needed. The Executions Indexation button allows you to manage execution indexing. You can initiate a full re-index of all executions on your servers. Note that this operation may take some time depending on the number of executions and associated data volume. The Nodes and Credentials Database button allows you to update the database of available nodes and credentials. This ensures you always have the latest information for planning your workflows. Finally, the Stored Credentials button gives you access to credentials stored locally on your device. When you use the internal browser to fill out forms or chat with your bots, some credentials may be stored locally for basic authentication. You can view and delete these credentials from this screen if necessary. Premium users have access to several customizable widgets for iOS and macOS that allow them to quickly view the status of their workflows and executions directly from the home screen or desktop. To add a widget, press and hold your iPhone's home screen until the icons start to jiggle. Then tap the Edit button at the top left of the screen. Next, search for n8n Infinity in the list of available widgets. Select the widget you want to add, choose its size, small, medium, or large, and tap Add Widget to place it on your home screen. You can then move it wherever you like on the screen. Once the widget is added, tap it to edit it. A settings window will open, allowing you to select the workflow to display as well as various options to customize its appearance. When you're done, tap outside the settings window to save your changes and close it. You can also trigger your workflows from the Control Center on your iPhone. To do so, swipe down from the top right corner of the screen to open the Control Center. Then tap the plus button. You can then add the n8n Infinity control by tapping Add a Control at the bottom of the screen. Select the Start Workflow control under the section associated with the app. Choose the control size, small, medium, or large, then tap it to edit. A settings window opens, allowing you to select the trigger of the workflow you want to execute. Note that only basic triggers are supported. You can now simply tap the control to trigger your workflow. Actions are also available in Apple's Shortcuts app, allowing you to trigger workflows from there. Two actions are provided: Enable, disable a workflow, and Start a workflow. To add an action, tap the plus button in the Shortcuts app. Then select the action you want to use. You can then configure the action parameters. Thank you for consulting this user guide for the n8n Infinity app. We hope this guide has helped you understand the different features of the app and make the most of your n8n Infinity experience. Feel free to consult our online documentation for more information, contact our support team if you have any questions, or check out our dedicated GitHub repository for support, the link to which is provided in the description.